Hello everyone, and welcome back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So it's been a while, obviously as many of you be aware, I have moved to Sweden. That is why I have taken so long in getting back with these videos. I may just stick to doing one a week of these for now. Obviously Minecraft Mondays and Survival Fridays are still on hold, but there are other videos in lieu of those. But let us get back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So, we kick off with this puzzle, the infamous goat puzzle. And for those of you that don't know, I say infamous because this puzzle actually is so obscure, so unfathomable, and impossible to decipher of what you had to do at the time. It actually had its own, it's actually got, and I think it still has, its own Wikipedia page. It's called the goat puzzle, you can look it up. So basically, we've got to get down here, but if we go over there, the goat butts us out the way. So this is what you had to try and work out how to do. I've got to see if it will still work. Right, now George, get up, and I think they've updated it slightly for the... basically what you had to do was go over there and then quickly get up, run over here, and move this, so when the goat does that, it gets caught.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
But obviously in this version, you only have to walk over there and do it. Anyway, but yeah, that's what you had to try and work out how to do. How you were supposed to solve such an obscure puzzle, I have no idea. But to be fair, when it comes to these kind of games, the puzzles are all quite obscure. Okay, now I do remember this. We've got to pick this thing up. Oh, it's the special version.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand. As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly. I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Oh, the plaster. Yes, I remember this now.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Now, is it a little known fact for many? Well, I wouldn't say for many, but for a few people who do know the Broken Sword games, or don't know the Broken Sword games, in fact. In Mission Impossible, the first film, where they've got to do the famous... Isn't that thing supposed to be off? No, not flick the switch. Yeah, in the famous scene where he's hanging from the ceiling...
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Maybe not then. In the famous scene where he's hanging upside down in the room, and there's the guy working on the computer, and they put stuff in his coffee to make him feel sick, and he ends up throwing up. He is the voice of George Stobart. And if you actually watch the film, in the few moments in that film where he does speak, you can recognise his voice. But it was only after I googled George's voice actor that
Excuse
I
me?
realised who it was.
Yes, sir? No. Do you recognize the name on this card?
No. Should I?
Nah, it was a long shot. May I have another beer, please?
Certainly, sir. Same again?
Yeah, please. How is this stuff made?
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honoured fashion, suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilising the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh, well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my idea, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedevilled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. And when you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
So, I believe we need to do something with this bit of wire.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire.
Pretty dangerous.
I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
The pub cellar. Many a time I have been in a pub cellar. Given the fact that I used to work in a pub.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Oh, I need to go back upstairs to open it from the outside.
I lifted the trap. I looked down.
I'm being stared at by a grumpy cat. Oh, God.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
So I'm dealing with a cat who's got things stuck in his hair. Okay.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
It's the gem.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Okay. Now, I believe... What's that? What are you doing?
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Okay, now I've got to do a bit of trickery here, which could...
It was a rusty faucet.
It may work, it may not. So, I shall have to wait and see if it does or not. So I've got to do this very quickly.
I held the
Whether this is actually going to work or not is another matter. Okay. Right, I've got to put the plaster of Paris in the hole. Oh, God damn it, this is going to take forever. I get the feeling I've run out of time now. Should have done this before I left.
I sprinkled the...
Yeah, alright, George. Is it still wet enough? Yeah! It dries out very
The
quickly.
trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
And now...
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Da-da-da-da. Let's see what is down in the cave. That evening, back in Paris. Okay, so we're back with Nico. What do I do now? Let's check the machine for messages. These are the bits that I struggle to remember because they're not in. This is all of the.
I
stuff.
had messages waiting to be played.
This is all the stuff that was in the special.
You
edition.
have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slàinte. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening.
Oh,
He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
That's not good.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
Call first, Nico. Damn it.
I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
Right. I believe I need to time.
Fixed tight, presumably to stop. The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire. Locked? No way was I going to break through a door like that.
The old hairpin?
A hair clip to pick a high security lock?
Yeah.
Might work in a movie, but not for me.
Yeah, worth a try.
Just your average modern art retaining wire.
Anything I can cut it with? Let's see.
That broken window looked like the best way in. Fixed tight.
Gotta be a way to climb up.
Just your...
Aha.
I unhooked the first wire. I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
All it needs is a little push. There we go.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
All right.
The plastic sheet was...
Sharp edge of the... Ah. In we go. First things we're going to be greeted by a dead body. Guess not.
My God, I'm too late.
Is she actually dead, though?
Imelda. Oh no.
No, she's not dead.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be all right.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why?
Oh, it's a horrible job. It's got to be done.
Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace. Around her neck was a locket.
Let me guess, picture of my dad.
I opened it.
Oh, maybe not.
Inside was a tiny gold key. I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Okay. Isn't there a box? Don't I have a box that I can't open? I'm sure Nico's got like this thing. Key go in there by any chance?
The box was carved by my father.
Yeah.
It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's.
Definitely the key.
I took out the key.
Haha.
I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
Missing part of the photo.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box.
The three of them together.
I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come.
The plot thickens.
Hotel Saint-Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you are really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a funny job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all.
Still leaves a lot of questions unanswered.
He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
I kind of feel sorry for Nika. Now what do I do? Or is that it? No. The next morning. Really? She sat there all night?
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Pegram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Got the gem.
Pegram's gem?
The Templar's gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. A knight with a crystal ball. The knight scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse.
Well, it's not telling me anything.
There's a guy working on a loom.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who... All I've got to...
Yeah, we know all that.
Do you want this photograph?
No, you keep it.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinot at the Kron Museum.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
And why don't you see if Rousseau has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
That's kind of sad. Okay, right, we want to go to the museum then. He's still not here.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
I found this gem at a medieval site in Ireland.
That means nothing to me, monsieur.
How did you manage to get this job?
I had the right qualifications, a military manner, squeaky shoes, and an irrational hatred of children.
Thanks for your help.
Let's see. No, Ursula's not here either. Everyone I need to talk to has disappeared, damn it.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantow.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but...
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Charming.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
What? God damn it, I keep knocking.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic, in the Avenue des Hérissons.
That's a lead, and I will take it.
See you later, Sergeant.
Where's the... Hospital.
Hi, my name's...
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
Thanks for your help.
No, I know. I'm sure there's something else we've got to do first. We need to find a coat. Like a doctor's coat thing. No, that didn't work.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
George, no.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
I knew it was something like that.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whipped the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result.
Wow.
Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Okay, well,
Thanks for your help, man.
You're welcome.
now we can find our way toward J2. Let's see if we can find Marquet. I get the feeling that didn't work. No. Where is Ward J2?
Excuse me.
Yes,
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
she's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
I get the feeling.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's try it for the third time's the charm.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Now we've got to get into that cupboard, but I think to do so, we've got to unplug his
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
all the way around there. I suppose unless he's polished all the way around
The connector...
there. Maybe I've got to get in there first. So I can plug it.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
There we go.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Yeah, she named it. Okay, go. Go for the cupboard, George.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bernie, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
No, I think we have to.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Okay.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hi, my name's George Stowe.
Yes, sir?
So what's your name, kid?
Benoit. They call me Bunny.
Bunny? Jeez, and you don't mind?
Oh, I've gotten used to it.
Okay, Benoit, you're gonna help me.
Anything you say, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
Okay.
Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right behind you.
Let's talk to this chappie first.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Okay.
I'll come back.
Well, I know we've got to go and see Marquet, but I can't quite remember what exactly I've got to do.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Ah, yeah, I remember now.
Will you keep quiet?
I'll keep quiet when you take...
I have to see...
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder. Hey, Benoit!
Yes, sir?
You, Dr. Man.
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Alright, let's see if we can get to Marquet now. Under guard.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc.
Check on him and hope we don't get anthrax. Yeah, not looking too good, Marquet.
Marquet?
Yes.
Actually looks
I am Marquet.
It's larger picture than it was in the school, right?
I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for?
get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassins.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them. As for Klausner, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter!
So are you, George, to be fair.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Too late. Back in Nico's apartment.
Hello, George.
Okay, well.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashi Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Right, well, I think we need to go and get the tripod now. So, let's...
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Where does that take us to? Oh, nowhere right now, okay. Right, well, we've got to go to the museum. And we finally meet Lobino, but we shall talk to him in the next episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.